Hello and welcome to Gradient's weekly roundup of key business and financial developments in Sri Lanka for the week ending 8th April 2022. I'm Nishani Pigera. Here are the top stories for this week. Government hangs on to simple majority. IMF talks in limbo due to political uncertainty. Goods and services shortage continue. Nandalal Weerasinghe appointed a new central bank governor. January trade deficit widens on imports. We will also briefly look at other notable news that made it across to our news desk and wrap up with the capital markets update. In our main story this week, with Cabinet resigning en masse and as many as 42 government members of Parliament deciding to remain independent, the ruling coalition is hanging on to a simple majority as it has only 114 members in its ranks. The developments came as island-wide protests rapidly escalated during the week, with citizens demanding the president's resignation, along with political reforms and tangible solutions to ongoing economic challenges. The Sri Lankan rupee became the world's worst-performing currency, trading at a historic low of near 300 rupees to the US dollar. Down 32% year-to-date, the rupee is underperforming even the Russian ruble. Such issues were summed up in Asian Development Bank's latest outlook on Sri Lanka, which stated that the country's GDP will dip to 2.4% this year, but rise to 2.5% in 2023. The government's plans to negotiate an IMF bailout fell into disarray as its majority in Parliament looked perilously close to being lost and the position of Finance Minister fell vacant. On Thursday, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa appointed Indrajit Kumaraswamy, former central bank governor, Shantha Devarajan, an ex-World Bank staffer, and Shamini Kure, a recent retiree from the IMF, to provide guidance on the current debt crisis, as well as to lead towards what is called sustainable and inclusive recovery for Sri Lanka. Moreover, the IMF said that it is very closely monitoring political and economic developments in Sri Lanka and looks forward to program discussions with the authorities. Shortages of fuel, gas, power and other essential items persisted for the 7th consecutive week as dollar limitations, lack of a coherent plan and current politics exacerbated the situation. Moreover, the General Committee of the Government Medical Officers Association declared an emergency health situation from Wednesday due to the severe lack of medicines in the country. Indian Lifeline continued to bring in supplies, with 40,000 tons of diesel coming through on Saturday, being the 4th consignment under Indian assistance. Dr. P. Nandalal Weerasinghe was appointed as Sri Lanka's 17th Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka upon the resignation of Ajit Nivard Cabral. Prior to his appointment, Dr. Weerasinghe was a Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, having assumed the position in September 2012. Dimantha Matthew, head of First Capital Research, speaking to Mirror Business, said that with the appointment of Dr. Weerasinghe as the governor, the Monetary Board is likely to increase policy rates in the range of 500 to 750 basis points or even higher. In other news this week, Sri Lanka's high trade deficit persisted in January on increasing imports. Despite the deficit falling to $859 million in January, down 20.8% month on month, it was 30.1% higher year on year. Merchandise imports rose to $1.9 billion, up 23.1% year on year, while merchandise exports breached the $1 billion mark for the 9th consecutive month, increasing to $1.1 billion, up 17.5%. In a welcome note, Sri Lankan Airlines said that they are gearing up for the upcoming summer season by increasing the number of flights by 40% to match pre-pandemic levels. It stated to almost doubling the weekly flights to India to over 100, as well as adding flights to Seoul, Melbourne, Bangkok, Narita and Jakarta by mid-year. And now let's take a look at the weekly movement of the All-Share Price Index and the S&P SL20 Index at the Colombo Stock Exchange. And here's how the rupee performed against the dollar this week. In other market news, trading hours at the Colombo Stock Exchange was curtailed to 2 hours each day this week from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. According to the CSE, the decision was taken at the request of stockbrokers, which was largely seen as a result of sustained power outages and other crippling crises in the country. Luminex Limited, a company involved in telecommunication network development, electrical engineering and sewerage construction, received approval from the Colombo Stock Exchange to its 250 million rupee initial public offering. Slated to open on the 26th of April, it plans to issue 31.25 million new ordinary voting shares at 8 rupees per share. Shares will be listed on CSE's Dirisavi board. And that's the wrap for this week. We wish you a pleasant and peaceful Sinhala and Tamil New Year, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. Do continue to follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube for regular updates on business and financial developments in Sri Lanka. Until then, thank you for watching. Stay safe.